This industrial harbor city on the Yellow Sea is in the Seoul metropolitan area and shares the same metro network. After the port was founded in 1884, Incheon became a melting pot, home to the only official Chinatown in Korea and a vibrant international market. Incheon is the point of departure for a constellation of 168 islands, some joined to the city by infrastructure like the record-breaking Incheon Bridge, and others that are undiscovered holiday escapes as far as 4 hours away by boat. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Incheon so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, Songdo Central Park. Tying together the many green spaces at Songdo International Business District is this 100-acre park, edged by skyscrapers and covering almost a tenth of the district's total area. The park is cut in two by a seawater canal that replenishes every 24 hours, and grabbing your attention on the west side is the curving outline of the Tri-Bowl, a cultural center for exhibitions and live performances. You can catch a water taxi or hire a pedal boat or canoe for a little voyage on the canal, while there's a small collection of traditional Korean hammocks, wooden houses, by the water. At number 9 is the G Tower. The place to get to grips with the sheer size of Songdo International City is Zaha Hadid's G Tower, 2013, which sits at the northwest end of Central Park, rising to 150 meters and holding offices for international organizations, including the United Nations. There's an outdoor observatory at the very top, and a majestic sky garden on the 29th floor, with indoor vegetation and a bird's-eye view through the arcing window over Central Park and out to the giant Incheon Bridge. There are interactive information panels about the Songdo International Business District, coffee stands and machines that take humorous photos and email them to your phone. At number 8, Incheon Grand Park. In 727 acres in the shadow of two peaks, Incheon Grand Park is a place where you can idle for a whole day in gardens, ecological areas, an arboretum and children's zoo. The latter opened its doors in 2001 and keeps more than 200 animals, counting Japanese macaques, punks and dogs, sheep and ostriches. The rose garden is fabulous in summer and grows around 7,800 bushes from 66 species, and the natural forest is installed with information boards about this environment and its wildlife. At number 7, Sinpo International Market. The story of this market not far north of the port in Yeonggu begins at the end of the 19th century, when vendors started selling vegetables to the Westerners, Chinese and Japanese who had recently arrived in the area. The market was officially established in 1970 and has become Incheon's representative market, especially with the influx of tourists arriving by ferry and cruise boats over the last couple of decades. There are loads of little stores selling everything from knockoff clothing to cosmetics, bags, fresh produce, and cookware, all along a spacious central hallway with a glass roof. At number 6 in our list, Chinatown. The only official Chinatown in Korea is opposite Incheon Station in Yeonggu and has been around since 1884. These days most of the residents of Incheon's Chinatown are second or third generation, but there's still a sizable population of Chinese expats in the city, numbering around 50,000. Chinatown has lots of architectural flourishes, the most obvious of which are the three paifangs, or gateways. There's a school for Chinese expats here, as well as a cultural center to promote an exchange between the two nations, and you can go shopping for antique ceramics and traditional Chinese tea. At number 5, Songwol-dong Fairy Tale Village. Also by the port and close to Chinatown, this residential area was settled in the late 19th century by newly arrived foreigners. After a period of decline, Songwol-dong had a thinning population, which led to even more young people moving away. The gloom was lifted with an imaginative regeneration scheme, furnishing the neighborhood with intricate and brightly colored sculptures and murals evoking Korean folk stories, international fairy tales, and beloved children's characters. At number 4, Wolmido. Land reclamation and a new highway have turned what used to be an island on the north side of the harbor into a contiguous neighborhood in Incheon. There was a U.S. Army base on Wolmido from the 1950s until the 90s, and since then the island has turned into a weekend retreat for Incheon. Wolmido's first started attracting visitors as early as 1989 with the Wolmido Cultural Street, a promenade edged on its landward side by cafes and restaurants and buzzing with life on weekends when you can watch outdoor performances and sit for street artists. At number 3 in our list, Baengnyeongdo. Even though the ferry ride to this spectacular island is 4 hours, there's no lack of passengers willing to make the journey. Baengnyeongdo is among the 5 northwestern border islands and close to the disputed northern limit line. The island has a population of just over 4,300, and on clear days you can see North Korea's Changsan Cape. What draws the crowds are the strange sedimentary stacks, cliffs, and outcrops of Dumyejeon on the northeast coast, given names like Candlestick Rock and Elephant Rock. At number 2, Incheon Bridge. The longest bridge in Korea, and the 10th longest cable-stayed bridge in the world, the 21.38-kilometer Incheon Bridge ties Yangjiang Island and Incheon International Airport to the mainland at Songdo. Incheon Bridge was completed in 2009 at a total cost of 2.45 trillion Korean wons and cut up to an hour from journey times to the airport, enabling Incheon's growth as an international business city. The crossing spans the main shipping route in and out of the port and so has a clearance of 74 meters and an enormous center span of 800 meters. At this cable-stayed section, the main tower climbs to more than 230 meters. Check out the number 1 places in our list, Jayu Park. Notable for being the first Western-style park to be platted in South Korea, Jayu Park is spread over Mount Yeongbong, just east of Chinatown. The name was given to the park in 1957 when a statue of General MacArthur was erected here, and translates to Park of Freedom. Leader of the United Nations Command, MacArthur planned a successful amphibious landing at Incheon in September 1950, involving 75,000 troops and 261 vessels. You'll find his statue at the summit of Mount Yeongbong, where there's a panorama to savor of the port, the West Sea, downtown Incheon, and the encircling mountains. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Incheon? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.